straight into it. And we've got a fellow photographer and model, Amy.
Yeah, I'm both. I'm a bit of both.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
How did you get into photography and modeling?
Photography, I mainly did a lot of nature photography first.
Yeah, like landscape stuff.
Yeah, ducks. I like ducks. Yeah. Yeah, good impression. So I've been doing nature photography for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And I got better at it when I got my first professional camera.
Okay.
So I had no idea how to use it.
Yeah.
So I had to go to that workshops, bird photography, in groups.
Yeah, yeah.
So that really helped me. And then, I really enjoyed it. And then, I just sort of started modeling first.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And so what is it about like landscape, kind of like animal photography that you really enjoy?
I guess I always like walking around in parks and stuff. It has that relaxing.
I'll just get you to bring the microphone closer.
I'm not used to having.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
I just like walking through parks and wildlife in general.
Yeah.
So that's where the interest came from.
Yeah.
So I thought, and I also got bored on some walks. I'm like, I'm a crap drawer, so I thought, why not take photos?
Yeah.
So when I took a few shots, I'm just like, okay, I'm onto something.
Yeah.
So I just really like animals too. So that's why I like all that stuff.
It's I can understand how, like, if you're out there and it's kind of like peaceful and you enjoy it, like, why not like try to take photos of the things that you're seeing?
Yeah.
You know, like, cause
like a story almost.
Yeah, because you might not see that like bird or that animal like another time.
Yeah.
Type thing.
It was more interesting when I went overseas to Norway. They had like seagulls as big as chickens.
Oh my
So it was really cool to, take photos of like animals there too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you have a Norwegian background?
No.
Oh.
But my auntie, she used to do like Sweden, Switzerland.
Oh.
So a lot, like she's been about 3 times in her 20s.
Right.
But it's a place where my cousin wanted to go. So she's like, do you want to come along? I'm like, yes, definitely.
That would have been
it was amazing
trip.
Yes.
Okay. 3 minutes in and we are going to answer a controversial question.
Okay.
What camera do you use?
Yeah, I was waiting for that. A Nikon D3
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
It's a pretty good camera.
Yeah.
I've got like a big lens. I can't remember the zoom length, but, it's a really decent camera.
Like a 70 to 200 lens or something?
Yeah, I think it's 70 to 300.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm not very good with numbers and knowing each lens, but that lens, it's a big one, and I use that mostly.
Yeah,
because,
for outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can,
Because the shorter one, that it comes with, it doesn't give me the good effects. Like the blurs and stuff. That,
and I suppose, like, when you're trying to capture, like an animal or a bird, like getting that kind of effect, like in camera is easier.
A lot easier.
And
you don't scare away a duck. So I could zoom really far away and they just don't go. It's really handy.
Yeah. Have you always shot with a Nikon?
Yes.
Okay.
But then before that it was my crappy iPhone. But yeah, it still did good portraits.
I reckon Nikon are going to come out with a really good range because they bought Red.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and red is more of a cinematography type camera. And they're modulated, so you buy like the body and you kind of like add stuff to it and stuff like that. But yeah, like when Nikon bought red, it was like I heard so much from other photographers going, "My God, this is like a game changer."
Oh, okay.
Like in terms of being able to push the Nikon brand in terms of like the technology that they would use, like even higher.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's cool.
So then that, I think, and look, I think all the brands are kind of the same.
Yeah.
It just depends on how it feels with, like in your hand.
Yeah, you don't want it too heavy where you can't even carry around. Because if you're tiny like me, I'd have to lug around all this camera gear. I'm like, yeah.
So what I like when people ask me what camera I recommend them to get, all I say is you just need to go into a shop and like pick up a few, work out what you're going to be using it for, play around with it, like actually go into the camera menus and like work out what you like and what you don't like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I shoot with Canon, but I've had like Sonys, I've had Fujis. I just prefer the menu system.
Okay.
Yeah, for the Canon, and because I've always bought like Canon lenses, I'm like heavily invested in the glass. So yeah.
Yeah, my auntie always stuck to Canon cameras. Like, she thought it was, I don't know, better quality pictures. I don't know why, more settings that she could use.
Yeah, I think, and I had a guy on the podcast, Adam, from Busy Creative, and he was saying like, Sony's have more of like, God, I can't remember what he said, but he is like that, those buttery colors.
Oh yeah.
Versus Canon kind of being sharper and all this type of stuff, and Canon being good for like skin tones. Because Sony's aren't great for like skin tones. So
yeah, I never know the difference between Sony and Canon. But yeah,
Sony's really good. They've been really good with like video, like creating really good technology for like producing good video content. And so a lot of photographers I find would be like, oh, if you want to do video, like go with a Sony. But if you want to do photos, like, go with something else. But as I said, like everybody's kind of doing the same thing now,
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay, so then you kind of like you've done from a photography point of view, you were doing like nature stuff, and now you're doing like more model stuff.
Yeah. So I sorry, I hope that's close enough.
That's all right. Yeah.
It's sort of I started modeling. I didn't even think about capturing people.
Okay.
Like it didn't come to mind, but when I joined photo walks, I was like, like maybe I'd be okay at it.
Yeah.
But then, when I started, I'm just like, like, I take quite good shots.
Yeah.
But like other photographers have been really helpful and nice. They've helped me when I've got frustrated trying to work out, like what setting, like aperture do I, like, what do you call it, ISO do I put it as and all that. But they've helped me a lot.
How did you find like the photo walks, like going on them?
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
It can be like a lot of people.
Yeah.
When you're a model, I remember when I went to my first poggygraphy photo walk. It was the pink one. And I think that was my very first photo walk. And like when I started posing by myself, you had like about 30 photographers taking photos.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. I was sort of frozen. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, hi. Like, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's really good that you like you were doing modeling and
Yeah.
then doing, like photos as well.
Yeah, photography.
Because then you kind of like see both sides.
Exactly.
And you can really relate to like what it's like.
Yeah, like when I do photography, I know what works now, or like I can suggest things, like for models who are beginners, I can help them suggest stuff, like suggest, oh no, like you can do this type of pose, or like, it really helps.
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
Definitely helps in just being able to direct and coach
Yeah.
and things like that.
I'm still getting the hang of that part. I always have like a photographer there to help me assist, like, because I'm really bad at picking, or like I get stuck on picking the good locations where it's not too bright or dark, or it might not be a good shot. But I also have fun like working on really cool sort of shoots.
Yeah. I think there's always, I find there was always like room for improvement on like lots of different things.
Yes.
Sometimes it's hard to like nail every single aspect because, things will kind of come up. So then I found that I almost kind of like just didn't care enough to like worry about it, which I know is kind of like really hard sometimes.
Yeah.
For like people to do, because they just want to make sure that everything's perfect.
Yeah.
When really like nothing's ever perfect. Like,
Yeah, of course. Like there's always, even if you're an expert photographer sort of thing, there's always something, to improve on. Like it's like a building thing.
And there's always something that someone else is going to be like, oh no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Or you should have done this, or you should have done that.
Yes.
It's kind of like,
Yeah.
There's a well-known photographer in Melbourne, Peter Colson, and he works out of Kilsyth.
Yeah.
But he does a lot of stuff internationally, and
okay.
I went to one of his workshops, and when you go to one of his workshops, you then get invited to a Facebook group and all this some stuff. And I remember he posted a photo, and he was getting a lot of feedback, like a lot of constructive feedback about like a halo over the model's like head, and they were kind of saying, oh, you should have like edited that, blah blah blah, and he was like, why?
Yeah, like he could have seen something with the image, like
and then he was also saying like, why would I edit it if it was intentional? Like that's what I wanted.
That's what I was thinking.
And so that's where I guess like even you could be like a real expert like photographer and still get feedback. It's kind of because it is just feedback, you can pick and choose whether or not you take it on.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's and sometimes it's really hard because like you kind of like you want to do your good job and all this type of stuff, but
it's like a photographer always has that vision, and when they capture something and they post it, they mean well, like that's what they post. That's what their intentions of taking the image is. Like, I get what you mean.
Do you prefer modeling or photography?
Modeling. But it's actually sometimes when I do too much of the modeling, it's good to have that being behind the camera.
Yeah.
So it's I enjoy both.
Yeah. What is it about the modeling that would like complement the photography side?
I guess knowing, like when I do, like when I'm a photographer, it's sort of like sometimes I do see poses that I've missed, or like I I learn something new from the model, so it can work the other way around. And also the type of fashion, like clothes that I could have used for another shoot or I can use next time.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like I
Yeah.
think going back and looking at previous shoots, like you can definitely like
Yeah.
see past poses that you didn't think were like great, but then implement them like later on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always happy. Like, I've changed a lot. Like, I've gotten way better. Because when I scroll down, it's like, oh, okay. Why did I wear that? Or like, no, like, you see how much you've improved.
Yeah.
But like, I've had a lot of help just getting more into editorial type of drastic poses.
I think that's so good. We often forget to reflect and appreciate how far we've come.
I always reflect because I feel like it's important, and that's how I've always been. You just reflect on like positive stuff, like, hey, like this didn't work out, but you can always try to find something you can do next time. Or
were you like that as a kid?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
Okay.
Or like I grew up with scoliosis, so my sort of family taught me how to look more on the positive side. So I used to reflect and go, yeah, look, I can run now. I can, you know, I've always grown up being like that, just reflecting. And
remind me what scoliosis is.
it's when your spine, it's not straight. It
That's
just
right.
curves around. So I had 2 major surgeries. So, yeah, you know, it's part of me. And, you know, yeah.
It's, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people, not a lot of people know.
It would have been hard, like, growing up with it, right? Because you see, like, other people or other kids and...
Yeah, and I think modelling has helped me become more confident in myself in a way.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, it was a big step.
It's a massive step.
Like, I wouldn't be talking, like, on a recorded thing at all, like, earlier on in life. Like,
I do like to get people in to, like, tell their stories.
Yeah, of course.
And we, like, push out the stories that actually make a difference for people being able to, like, listen to, you know?
Yeah.
Which is why I absolutely love, like, doing this.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like, you get to know different people.
Yeah. And I'm the same, right? Like, I spend a lot of time, like, reflecting.
Yeah.
And particularly, like, last year when I started doing those interviews with models, I love the process of doing the interview, but I hated actually doing the editing, like, afterwards.
It's like photography.
Yeah.
Hours of editing.
Because you have to, like, listen to yourself. And then I had to, like, retrain my brain to go, you know what, buddy? That's actually just the way that you sound. So, like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But then I would, like, be really critical about what I was wearing or what my hair was doing. And I'd be like,
yeah.
You are never to wear a yellow T-shirt ever again. It's black all the way.
Black all the way.
Because, like, if I wear any coloured T-shirt, I'm like, bro, what is going on?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be like that.
Yeah. And I almost gave up on the interviewing, but then I was like, no, I need to keep doing it. I need to keep something was telling me I needed to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then I kept doing it, and then I was like, okay, like, where am I taking this? Because the interview would only be like 3 to 5 minutes. And then I thought, oh, wouldn't it be great if I did like a podcast?
Yeah,
And
it's a good idea.
I didn't have all the equipment. Like I didn't have all this audio equipment, so I bought all the audio equipment, and then I did a couple, and I was like, you know what? I actually really like this.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool setup.
And so you are episode 43
Oh, wow.
since December.
That's pretty special. That's cool.
Yeah. And I've had models, photographers, music producers, TV presenters.
Wow, that's
I've
really
had
cool.
one TV presenter. I've had a radio host.
Wow.
Like musicians. I had a Wiggles guitarist on.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And he grew up listening and watching the Wiggles.
Oh, wow.
And now he's like playing for them.
That's cool.
In June, I've got a Commonwealth Games gold medalist coming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's cool, huh?
Yeah. Imagine the conversations you would have. Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I have no idea where I'm taking this, but I'm enjoying doing it. And
yeah.
Actually, I do know where I'm taking it, but I'll it's slow baby steps to the right direction, you know? Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And I've done like photos of myself, but I did a photo shoot as well. And I think it's important for like photographers. I always tell photographers that I meet or that I talk to, like, you need to take photos of yourself or go get a photo shoot done, you know, in the genre that you're focusing in on.
Yeah.
Because then you get to relate to the subjects that you're working with, you know?
Never thought of it that way, actually. That's a good idea.
Because it's all about communication. And if you can know how the person's feeling, like emotionally, like you can communicate better with them on, you know, poses and stuff like that.
That's actually true. That would help a lot.
Whereas, you know, like with what I was saying about yourself doing modeling and photography, like you would have that synergy between the two.
Yep. Yeah, it really does help. And like when I see, you know, like I go to photo walks with Lamp.
Oh yeah.
With Shrug. He's great. He runs them. You know, like if I see a model who's, I don't know, anxious or like uncomfortable, it's nice to sort of say, hey, I know how you feel. Like, let's do this. Like, and sort of, you know, be there for them. Like, I like helping models, like, feel good, like, pose, you know.
It's very empowering.
Yeah.
Like, it's an empowering process to be a part of and help them, like, realize, you know, how they look and that different perspective and things like that.
Yeah, it's like, I guess when I first started modelling, my thought was always, oh, there's more experienced models than me. Am I posing right or what's, you know, like, so it's good to have sort of, you know, used to being in their shoes and sort of know, hey, I know how to sort of help other models.
All comes down to experience. How do you get the experience to be able to then have the conversation?
I know.
You gotta like do the work and get the experience and then go through the motions and things like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What inspires you in like your modeling or your photography?
Inspires me. With modeling, I guess because I do a lot of vintage photo shoots. I sort of got that from like staying with my nan a lot.
Yeah.
So she loves anything vintage. So growing up, I always liked that side of things. So that's where the vintage comes from.
Yeah.
And then there's all the
like 60s type style, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like sort of like Call the Midwife.
Yeah.
Sort of style, or like Downton Abbey, all that 50s sort of
50s,
style.
yeah, okay.
I love the 50s sort of dresses and but then there's the editorial fashion, and I actually didn't really like that side of
how
fashion. I don't know why, but
so the editorial side.
yeah, like the drastic
Yeah.
sort of different clothes, the poses. But I really only got into it because, like, I've been doing like shoots with Matthew Appleby. He does a whole lot of editorial. So that's where sort of the interest came from too, as well as Runway Secrets. They have like amazing clothes, and I was like, I can use them for like, the two ideas came together and sort of like, they helped me sort of with the look, and like Matt's been helping me with poses, like learning, like I know he was assisting me with photography as well, and I'm learning how to help models do editorial fashion sort of thing. So it works both, sort of for both.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I know.
And so do you have like photographers that you like look at their work and like idolize their work and like you look up to?
Yes. There is quite a few. Like they're all really different in their techniques, or some might be similar, but I do have a few that I look up to. But like everyone's good. Like they've been really great. But I do like when I see their one of their photo shoots, I'm just like, I want that. Or like I find myself messaging them and going, can we do something similar? Like literally. But I love their work.
As a photographer, if you were to get a message from someone saying, I really love your work, can we do something similar? I would just be like, oh my God, like, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's always been positive. It's
such
like
a recognition that someone takes a lot of interest in wanting to have something very similar.
Yeah. Like there's a few photographers I've been shooting with like practically all the time. And like I love the creativity. Like I say, or they'd have an idea and like I add to it. That's what I love about modeling. It's like planning shoots and you create whatever you can create. It's brilliant.
It is great. You're only limited by your own creativity.
Exactly.
So if someone who's involved in the shoot comes up with another aspect or another perspective, it can like totally change that whole piece, right?
Yes. Like I shoot with Richard a lot. Like yesterday we did a brilliant Doerre afternoon tea sort of setting. Like we bounce ideas with creativity. And then there's another photographer for city fashion, street photography. It's just, I love all the ideas.
Have you always been creative?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
What do you do outside of photography and modelling?
Not like, I don't have a lot of hobbies, to be honest. Like I used to be able to, like I should get back to painting. Like I use acrylic paint and do like nature painting and stuff. But I love looking through Pinterest, just creating mood boards upon mood boards of like ideas and looks.
Sometimes you can get sucked into the wormhole of making so many mood boards, right?
I've literally run out of storage on my phone just because I keep, that's good. I keep saving it all. So I'm going to have to put on my hard drive all these ideas to keep them.
It is part of the, I think it's definitely part of the creative process, and like looking at other people's work or other photos for like reference, and then, you know, being able to match them or tie them all together is kind of like where the magic comes into it, you know?
Yeah. It just, at the end, like when you get the photos back, it's amazing. You know, you just go, yes, you know, it all came together so well. And like sometimes I don't get to shoot all the outfits that I want to shoot, but there was a better sort of angle at, you know, in the photo shoot that we focused on, like, you know,
it's I think it's good to, when you're in a shoot, like adapt and be flexible. You know, like, and if there is that, what I call a golden angle that you never thought of, that you then try to like focus in on that and kind of get as much as you can out of that. And then all that means is you can do another photo shoot with all the other outfits that you never got a chance to do, right?
I've got so many cool dresses and so many handbags and shoes. Oh my gosh.
You can never have too many handbags.
Oh my God, if you saw my shelf, I have like literally 15 handbags or something for like every outfit.
Right. 15's a little bit much.
Yeah.
Amy, you need to hold back on the handbags.
I like handbags. But no, like I'm doing better at sort of going, okay, that's that outfit. I can use that handbag for the other outfit, you know. But yeah, I shop at Runway Secrets and I'm just like, more.
It's as I said, like I think the creativity side is like endless.
Yes.
You know, and like looking at reference photos and like mixing stuff together.
But that's what I enjoy. And even like creating mood boards for me being a photographer, you know, I can, you know, I get a lot of messages from models, which I've been so happy about because they all want to shoot with me. And I go, what do you think about this idea? Or I ask them, what styles do you like? You know, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And then I work with them.
Yeah. Where would you say, what would you say would be one of your like key strengths in like your photography?
I think, yeah, I'm not very great at the really cool editing sort of thing, you know, like in Lightroom. Thank God I said the right word, Lightroom.
Yeah, it's Lightroom.
But
unless you use Capture One, like what other photography software do you use?
Oh, look, to be honest, with my photography, I don't change much.
Yeah.
Because I use the ISO toggle thing anyway, and all I do is add colour. I like to keep my photos natural as possible. So I guess that's a strength. I like to keep sort of not too edited, because sometimes you can edit too much and then it's like, whoops, you know.
You can edit too much.
Yeah.
And you can really change the subject.
Yeah.
To the point where it doesn't really look like the person anymore. You know, like when you do like skin smoothing, like taking too much of the texture out, and then it gives this like
plasticky look, or like they have like no wrinkles or nothing. Yeah. And then it just looks too flat and just, like I like doing park photos with colour and just mess with the lighting.
Mm.
But sometimes I like, you know, doing a little bit, sort of a bit more.
Mm.
But I like natural editing. It's what I prefer.
Mm. It's I think when you start photography, trying to work out what you like and what you don't like. I know like when I started I did do a lot of editing. And then, you know, you work out, oh, that kind of looks a little bit too plasticky, or and I think sometimes it's hard when you're doing editing on your laptop, and then you export it and you take it to your phone, and you're like, why does it look so different?
No, yes, I actually learnt that the first time, and I'm going, what's going on
it
here?
It looks so different.
Yeah.
You're like, what the F is going on, you know?
Yeah, no.
So then you have to like try to work out, you go through a process of elimination and you try to work out which setting it was.
Yep.
And then you have to like dial that right down.
Yep.
You know?
Usually it's too dark and I'm just like, I'm looking at the computer one, I'm like, what do I do?
As in like the contrast is too?
No, like the brightness. Like I dulled it because it was too bright on my laptop. And then I dull it and I'm just like on my phone, I'm like, yeah, nah, I need to brighten it right up. But yeah.
Yeah, no.
You learn different things with photography. So
yeah, it's interesting. Like if you do it too much, you certainly what I was doing, I was doing it too much and then looking at it and going, do I like that? Do I not like it? Like constantly.
When you stare at it too much, it's like, is it the color? Is it what is it? There's something wrong with this. Like the settings, that is.
Yeah, and then you also like, oh, is it something that I could have changed like at the time when I took the photo and like adjusted it then, you know? Do you prefer natural lighting or like artificial lighting?
I always use natural. Like everyone knows I have to stick to natural lighting because I also don't have the lighting, for camera work. So I prefer natural lighting because sometimes you just get that nice sun ray and like that's when I'm like, yeah, we're going over there. But that's when you create really nice photos.
I found that it's really hard to train the eye to like look for where the natural light is.
Okay.
Yeah, like whenever you're like indoors, what I would do is I would like scan the room because your eyes play tricks on you, like because we can't see all of the spectrum.
Okay.
And so the camera can see more, and because you can dial things up and dial things down.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah, you can see more and you can get more of an effect.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it took me ages to like train my eye to kind of go, no, that may look dull, like that scene or that particular area.
Actually, yes.
But then when you take the shot, you're like, oh my God, it's actually like really good.
Actually, that's what I've been having help with because I'd sort of see a patch of sunlight, right? And whoever the photographer's helping me with, like taking photos, they're like, no, that'll be too bright or too dark or it won't look as good. Let's try over there. And it's like, it looks different, but it's like way better than what I would have picked. So yeah, you're right.
I also found that if areas or locations were too bright, just like bump the shutter speed up.
Okay.
There was always these, you know how there's like foundations or like principles of like photography that people are like, oh, you need to follow them.
Yes.
like the rule of thirds, or like never go over 250, like shutter speed or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I was always like, why?
Yeah, no.
Like, if it's too bright, I'm going to bump that shutter speed up because I want less light coming into the camera.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And like, if I have to bump it up to like 800 or like 1,000, because it takes away all of that light, then that's what I do.
Yeah, there's always a way around it.
Yeah.
Around the settings.
Yeah.
Like, maybe, it's just a benchmark. But it's like, you don't have to listen to it.
Peter Colson, actually, he in his workshop, he spoke about that, and spoke about how these core photography principles are not, they're kind of not principles, they're kind of guidelines.
And guidelines.
Because what looks good for me may not look good for you. And what looks good to you may not look good to me. So it's all about perspective.
You
know, and he actually got kicked out of the AIPP.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for breaking too many rules. Now, the AIPP don't exist anymore because during COVID they liquidated.
Oh, wow.
But he got kicked out because he kept breaking too many rules.
Oh, no.
You know, like photography rules, the rule of thirds, or like making sure like the horizon was like always level and stuff like that. But that was like his perspective.
Yeah, like he sort of saw things like differently. Like, wow.
And that's like his art, right? Like,
that's his art.
You're gonna like criticize him or like kick him out of an association.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's not. Yeah. That's such a shame.
It's a shame that people couldn't see his like perspective. And like, if anything, what I love about the creative side of things is the different perspectives.
Exactly.
And like the fact that if someone has a different like take on things, that's great. Like, let me learn more about what you're saying so that I can kind of try to interweave it into what I'm doing.
It's all about sharing, like, these amazing ideas. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, it's like in modeling. Like, I like learning from photographers, like their ideas.
Yeah.
Like, it's how you grow, you know?
Yeah.
Without that, you wouldn't be sort of, how do you put it? Like, you wouldn't have your own work.
Yeah.
Like, in your own way, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Like, but again, I think it's all part of this working out what your style is.
Yeah.
And once you've worked out your style, like, you know, there's nothing stopping you from like evolving and changing it again, but like using your own, using other people's like perspectives and like angles and stuff like that.
Yeah. It makes sense.
I did find though that through the journey of like creating my own style, like I felt like a little bit of an imposter. Like, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because you know, like you're still trying to like work stuff out.
Trying to work it all out.
Did you ever feel like you had a little bit of that?
Sort of. I don't know. It didn't really occur to me, to be honest. But yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Have you always lived in Melbourne?
I'm actually, I was born in Frankston.
Oh,
so
okay.
So that's my town of my childhood.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like I was 23 I moved into Melbourne, up Melbourne Way.
Yeah.
Or like, I've always wanted to be closer to the city.
Yeah.
That was my goal. So yeah, it's good.
Closer to where all the action is.
And the shops.
Easier for photo shoots.
Exactly. Yes, a lot easier.
Now you mentioned Norway. Have you been to any other countries and done like photography?
Been whole like Central Europe. So I've been to Germany, Poland.
Okay.
I've been to Prague. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Very gothic, old.
Oh.
Like, I took so many good photos. I haven't been to New Zealand. I've been everywhere else, but I haven't been near.
That's okay. I haven't been New Zealand either.
Thank God. But yeah, like I've been all like, I've been to Munich. I've been everywhere. But I haven't been to England. That's where I have family, like auntie, a lot of cousins.
Oh.
So families, we've got extended family in England, and I haven't even met them, half of them yet.
Oh, shit.
So it's like, I need to get over there. And I could do like England, Scotland, Ireland.
Yeah.
So I really want to do that.
So when you went to Central Europe, you didn't think about like just skipping over? And
I was sort of going with my auntie and my cousin.
Oh, okay.
So they wanted to do more. Like, my auntie thought England wasn't that great. Like, it was packed. No, it was like you were like sardines in England, like the town, like London. Like, she didn't like the crowd. It was too busy, crowded. She doesn't like crowds. She likes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can relate. I don't like crowds.
Yeah.
I used to be able to deal with crowds, but then as I've gotten older, I'm like,
yeah, same. I don't know what it is, but it's like I like peace, sort of relaxing areas, places.
I think it's like the personal space thing.
Yes.
I don't want to be jam packed next to other people.
Go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like even when it's busy in the city. In Melbourne, I'm just like, oh, yeah, I need to go.
I'll admit, I haven't caught a train in a while.
Yeah, it's busier.
Because I can't. I'm not going to catch the train into the city because I don't want to have to deal with other people.
Yeah, oh my God, catching a tram.
The tram.
It's
That's
really
even worse.
Jam-packed. And it's worse when it's a hot day. Like, literally. You just boil like a potato, literally. But, yeah,
That's a side business for the tram company to have potatoes in there if they're boiling.
Yes. But, yeah. Anyway, I really liked, like, in Tromsø, Norway, like, I could feed reindeers.
What?
They have, like, a reindeer or dog sleigh trip, like, day trip.
Wow.
And, like, we were, like, on individual sleighs. Like, they're wooden things with, you put a blanket over you, and, like, you were two reindeer, like a proper reindeer sleigh.
Actually, I think I've seen videos of that.
It was like the whole time I couldn't talk because it's like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Did you see Rudolph?
No, but I had this the reindeer was right here, and like the antlers were like to the top of that, like spiky, and I'm like, please don't impale me, please. And like it kept looking at me, and I'm just going, okay. They're big, and I'm just like, wow, it was incredible.
Yeah. So, sorry, back to your scoliosis.
That's all right.
And the fact that you're doing modelling and photography now.
Yes.
Like, what advice would you give, one, your younger self, and two, other people who are like in the same kind of situation?
Oh, okay. To my younger self,
yeah,
I would just say, like you can actually do it. Like, because I never really believed that I can do anything, so I would literally say, "Come on, you can actually do it. Like, don't worry too much about your back or anything." Like,
is that because of like your family life, or like because of
I
like the situation that you were in?
like with my back, I guess, without going too much into detail, but I had a very controlled life. So I think they were just worried about my back, but
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't really the case. But I just, they've just cushioned me, like, and said, you can't do this.
They were just like protecting you,
Yes.
wanting you to be safe.
Yes. Bit too much, though.
Right. So they really like cotton wooled you.
Yeah. So, but if like knowing where I am now, I would tell my younger self, like, go for whatever you want to do within reason for your back. Like, you can still do it.
I think it's hard though, like when you're younger, you kind of have all of these aspects of self-doubt, and then you're like looking at other people, and like you're going, oh, well, I can't be like that. So
yeah, I always had I felt like, oh, why can't I do this? So like, I look at other people running and all that, and at the time, I had a back brace on before the operations, so it's like, I couldn't do sport in schools, and I really wanted to do sport, but all my friends were jealous. They're like, oh, you get to miss out on sport, but like, I wanted to do stuff. I wanted to,
you wanted
join
to be,
in.
Yeah, you want to join in, but
be part of everything.
They didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But they like saw you not being able to do it. Like, oh, you're the lucky one.
And I actually told them I want to do sport, and they just sort of looked at me like, no, like that you've got it going really good just sitting there. I'm like, no.
I think it's interesting, right? Like people will want what they can't have.
Yes.
Like they were doing sport but they didn't want to do sport, and then they saw you like, no, you're the lucky one.
Yes.
Like you're in a good position, and then you wanted to do sport but you couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting.
It would have been hard to like navigate through all of that, you know, like as a kid.
Yeah, I guess I didn't have many friends because I got bullied a lot. But I'm
sorry about that.
It's fine.
Kids are fucking cruel.
Yeah, but I guess being like a model, it's like I feel way more confident. Like I couldn't even walk past 4 people sitting in a group. Like my social anxiety was so bad. But now I'm just like completely different person. And it's good, like, like for models out there that think they can't, or can't do modeling, like you can do really well, like you'll get there. It like starting modeling, it's really hard. Getting the poses, but yeah.
It is really hard because if you've been bullied and like having that self-confidence is kind of you've always got these like 2 voices on your shoulders, right? Like and when you get bullied, that voice that says that you can't do something gets louder and louder and louder.
That was always.
And then you self-doubt.
I self-doubt. even now, being really good model. Like, I still suffer from anxiety. Like, sometimes before a shoot, I have a meltdown because I'm like, this outfit isn't working. But, like, it's so...
As in you had a wardrobe malfunction, or it's not, the colours aren't working?
Yeah,
or
like...
you get
Like, I want it a certain way. Like, I'm very particular. And, like, I don't know, like, sometimes, like, modelling can get to you sometimes, and it's okay. You just sort of, work your way through it.
I think, I think it is just all about trying to manage those self-voices.
Yes.
You know, the voices in your head.
But it's, you know, I'm a lot better with, like, more confident these days. And then I'm just like, yes, I've got this. Got this outfit, yes. And, like, I'm rummaging through, like, all my earrings, and I'm just like, yep, that'll do. And I'm like...
She has a large earring collection as well,
yes.
as well as handbags.
And shoes.
And shoes.
Yes. You should, like, my husband, he bought me, it's like a shelf, like from Bunnings. It's like a plastic, and then it's like cloth for the shelves. And I'm like, I had such a fun time. Just, you know, putting, like, it's hard, like, over half full of shoes and handbags.
I didn't realise you were married.
Yes.
How long have you been married?
So it would be from 2021, so about 3 years.
Where did you meet?
At uni. Swinburne Uni at random.
Right.
So it's cool. So I met him through a random friend. I met her. So, like, I was meeting her at this place, like, where, you know, everyone used to hang out, play games, video games, and he was there, and one other guy. So, yeah, that's how we met.
So you're an avid video game player?
Used to be. I actually liked the Battlefield games and still do.
Oh.
Like, literally.
Did you get good?
Yeah. Like, my shots were amazing. Literally. But yeah,
Battlefield's massive.
Yeah, I like it. And, like, the Battlefield 4 was, like, even better.
Right.
Yeah, it's really good. And I played Doom 3. Doom 3, that gave me nightmares. Like, a lot. Like, it's scary.
It's not meant to give you nightmares.
Yes.
You're not meant to, like, be traumatized by it.
Oh my god. Well, all of a sudden in one headphone you'd be like hearing and you're like, it sounded so real. And I'm like, oh my god. But, like, I like watching horror movies.
Oh, do
as
you?
well. So it's, you know, it was my thing sort of as a teenager. I'd have my sort of screen. Oh, sorry.
Just bring that closer to you. Like, pull it towards you.
I don't want to break it.
No, you won't break it. Yeah, like that. Let's keep going. Yeah, like that there.
Okay. Yeah, I played The Sims. I played... What else did I play? Doom 3. There was...
I played Doom. I played Doom like years ago.
It is a good game.
Yeah.
And I played Halo. A Halo...
Console or PC?
On the computer.
Oh, PC.
Yes.
Ah.
And it kept restarting on me.
Oh.
Every time I'd get to the point where I was like, oh, yay, I finally got to this point. For some reason, every time I saved, it would wipe out again.
Oh, no.
But I really enjoyed, like, that's all I ever did as a teenager, play games.
That's kind of cool how you, like, randomly met your husband.
Yay. And, like, I remember the first message I sent him, and I was like, so, you're a Collingwood fan. Literally.
Are you a Collingwood fan?
Yay.
Oh.
So we're both Collingwood, but I prefer to go to a game live than watch it on TV. But if it's a grand final, it's cool. We watch it together, so it's awesome.
I know nothing about AFL.
Don't worry, my husband knows more than me, so it's fine.
What did you study at uni?
Bachelor of Social Science.
Oh.
So I actually did politics, sociology, Chinese language. Yeah, literally. I can't remember half of it, but I got up to intermediate, and I liked it. It's better than Japanese language. Oh my gosh.
Did you ever travel to China?
No, not yet. I need to.
I like how you said that. You said no and then not yet.
Yeah, no.
Not yet, which means
I want to go.
Which means you and your husband are going to go.
Yes, one day. But yeah, I did Japanese in high school.
Oh yeah.
Really difficult.
I'm learning Italian.
That's even more difficult. Literally. Is it easier? Is it easy?
It's getting quite difficult now. But I'm doing it on Super Duolingo.
That's a good app.
It's a good app, but bro, it's getting really hard now because you actually have to like say stuff.
Oh, really? Does it actually eventually?
Because there's reading exercises, writing exercises, and speaking exercises.
Okay.
And
sorry.
And like the exercises are getting consistently harder and harder and harder.
I didn't realize you have to say stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, it's all on your phone. So my biggest problem is rolling my R's.
Yes.
Because I never used to be able to say when I was younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I got a Chinese tongue.
Oh.
And so I'd always say W.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I really have to like concentrate on saying my R's.
Oh,
it's because of the rubber band that's under my tongue is like super close to the tip of my tongue.
Oh, okay.
I can get it like sliced, but then like, what is that going to do to my speech?
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what will happen there. Yeah.
But yeah, so Italian is.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard.
I actually wanted to learn German.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my husband's dad is like he can speak it fluently. He was born in Germany, so maybe I should take lessons from him because it might be it's easier when you have someone who speaks the language, so you can practice it. Because otherwise, I find when I learnt Chinese at uni in class. I have a friend at work who she's Chinese. She does Mandarin, and she's like, no, you wouldn't say it like that. Like there's simplified, and then there's the formal. And like you know how we don't say like hello, like to a friend you'd be like g'day or hey. You know, Chinese language it'd be like that.
Yeah.
There's like you can shorten sentences.
There's what do they call it? Like conversational language versus like formal language, like it's not like dialects and stuff like that, but it's just this
I know what you mean. I'm trying to think.
But I totally get that, right?
Yeah.
I translated something in Google Translate in Italian, and then I sent it to someone, and they were like, "Oh no, that doesn't make any sense." And I'm like, "Thanks, Google Translate."
Yeah, don't rely on
stuffing it up.
I learnt that the hard way when I tried to because I still email my Chinese tutor even now.
Really?
Like you know, she's
In Chinese?
I try, but I used Google Translate for some of it one time,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Don't use Google Translate." She knew that I was using it because, like, she just sort of guessed because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Probably because the grammar as well and like
Yes.
word association or like how
And
it constructs the sentences.
yeah,
Mm.
exactly. But yeah, that I was at uni for like 5 years.
Mm.
So yeah, and I did psychology units too. So like I did a whole heap of. I really didn't know what I wanted to do.
Mm.
Like I was still sort of doing units because I was interested in that, but then, and now I'm in childcare, which
Oh, I was going to ask, what do you do for work? So childcare.
yeah, I actually enjoy it more
Really?
than what my degree was gonna give me.
Well, there you go.
It's really like I work with like between 1 to 3 year olds.
Yeah.
So they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
You walk into the room and they're like, they give you cuddles and they're like, Ammy. It's so good.
It's I think it's good to like try lots of different things.
Yeah.
Because how are you gonna know?
Yeah, you wouldn't know unless
you like give it a go, and then if it makes you happy,
yeah,
and you get reward from it, recognition or
yeah,
you get like satisfaction
yeah.
from it, then you like just continue on doing it.
Well, I've watched them from sort of having dummies to now they're like in kinder. And I've seen how they've grown. That's what's special. And like I get along with the parents. Sometimes they visit to pick up the next sibling who's now started. And it's so special,
So seeing their like development, but then seeing their other siblings kind of like come through as well.
I'm like with the siblings now. Like, yeah. And then I see the children with the mum, like they're now like 5.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did you get from 1 to 5 so quickly?
Well, there's this thing, Amy, it's called age and growing.
Yes, growing. Like, they grow, like, I now realise why my nan always said, you're growing up too fast. I understand now. Like, she said, I wish you were a little girl again. And I'm like, I was always like, oh, I want to be an adult and all that sort of thing.
I said the same thing.
I know.
I was like, I think I said it because I wanted to finally like have people take me seriously.
Yes.
You're like...
Yeah, exactly.
I was always like being told, no, I can't do something.
Exactly.
Or it's like,
yes.
but why? Like,
I know.
And then I did always say to my older sister, I'm like, I just want to grow up. Like, I just want to do
And
this.
now I'm saying sometimes I say the opposite. It's like, can I just rewind again? Because toddlers, you watch them play and it's like, they have a sort of a great time playing and, whereas adults is like bills. There's like, you know what I mean?
Responsibility. that R word.
Yes.
I think as adults though, we have a real obviously responsibility.
Oh yeah, of course.
To like be an adult. But
yes.
But then you also, I think, and it's different for everybody, but like I certainly find like just trying to like bring back those inner child feelings,
yes,
all the things that you love to do, because then that kind of like helps to, I don't know, balance everything out.
Actually, interestingly, I sometimes bring some of that into my modelling with what I used to like.
Oh, like how?
Like, let's say, like loving vintage or like loving dress ups. I used to love dressing up in like, fairy dresses and stuff. Like
Mm.
soon I want to or like nice dresses as a kid, and like fantasy make believe play. Like I'll be doing a photo shoot. I think it's next weekend with Bree, photographer.
Okay.
And I'll be like in a nice dress, sort of like a queen, the crown at the redwood forest. So
in Warburton.
yes.
Mm.
So I've always wanted to go there. So that's what I'm doing.
It's really eerie there.
Eerie.
Yeah, because the trees are so tall,
Mm.
and the air in between, like where you walk, is like really still.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never been, with where the trees are.
And
Okay.
one of the local artists there, you've probably seen photos, but there are he's collected up the branches and made these like birds' nests, but they're massive birds'
Oh
nests.
yeah,
that
I've seen photos.
You can actually like sit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to go there. So yay. Like I've seen photos of the big bird's nest, and I'm just like, wow, that's cool.
So that's next week, is it?
Yes.
That's going to be pretty cool.
Yes, I'm excited.
Hopefully it doesn't rain.
I hope not. I hope not. That's going to be a busy weekend.
If it does rain though,
it might.
Less people will go, because I always found that redwood. I've been a couple of times. It's always like really busy.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's a tourist attraction. People go, and then there's a few like camping sites there as well. So
okay.
yeah, being Warburton.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, that's cool. Any other shoots coming up for you that you're excited about?
Oh, I have so many. So like, what else have I got? Like more like fashion shoots. I know I've got a Chanel type photo shoot coming up. There's one with Ning Chen, like I think it's next week or in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Like playing with different lights, like gonna have a nice pale pink or something dress.
Yeah.
And like light, sort of like a sun, but behind you.
Yeah.
And I hold a flower. That's gonna look really cool. Yeah, I'm just every weekend.
Yeah.
I've got something on. I can't think of like off the top of my head, but literally.
What plans do you have for the rest of the year? Like, are you doing some exciting things?
I haven't thought that far ahead yet, but yeah, look, I have been thinking of doing like my own YouTube channel or my own reels on my Instagram where I could give posing ideas or like, because you've no idea how many like models have messaged me and asked me for help on posing ideas and stuff.
You should totally do that.
So something to do with that, and also I really want to do, because I see so many videos of it where they do fashion styling, like put on an outfit, show it off, do it with the next one, but like doing that sort of thing. So something I have been thinking of it.
I found that it was always hard doing like the editing side of things. For like if you're doing a reel for yourself, like how you go about doing that.
Yeah. I didn't think of that, the editing part, but I think it's a learning curve.
Because if you're like trying to do like a point of view style video, like getting changed and then like doing the footage and then being like happy with the footage, or like having to do it again and then like getting changed again, like how many different,
I know.
so it would so that's the cat feeder. It would like we'll see two cats like run
I was
past us.
wondering what that was.
It would like stress me out about working through like the editing side of
Yeah,
things.
that's true, actually.
Because like video is just like such another beast.
Like it all has to be right. Or like it has to take one thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, I have to try it again. You know, it's just one thing, like tiny detail, but
It's kind of like those transition videos and like trying to get the transition right.
yes.
You're like, how do these bastards online get it so perfect?
I know.
Like, it's so hard.
I don't know how they do it. Like, you know, they must have had to do retakes.
Yeah.
They can't just get it right
Yeah.
straight away, but
I reckon what they do is they do like 10 takes and then they go, surely I got one of them.
yeah.
You know, it's just a process of repetition and like percentage of probability,
Yeah.
you know.
Like, you would get a shot.
Yeah.
It's just as long as you take a few, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, that sounds good. Like you should do a YouTube channel.
Yeah, and even my husband mentioned that idea too.
Get him to help you.
Yes. Because he has his own YouTube channel too.
So he knows how to do it.
Yes.
What does he have a YouTube channel on? Gaming.
He used to be a draft expert for like under 18s footy.
Yeah.
So he used to write articles for ESPN.
What?
And like they'd post these articles on their website.
Right.
So, you know, he sort of, you know, he's not doing it now, but he loved doing that. And he still makes videos even on investments. He's got his own investment channel, like YouTube channel. It's an area he's interested in, like that's his interest.
If you're interested in something, you should definitely like do a YouTube channel or do like more reels and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because you never know who will be watching, or two, who will be inspired by you and then like reach out to you, you know?
Yes. But yeah, I'm reaching a huge goal of like being like modeling for Chanel or Dior or something.
Wow.
That's why I've been focusing more on editorial.
Right.
Fashion.
Right.
Mostly.
So why Dior or Chanel?
Probably my nan again. And also I love
the influence of the nan.
Yeah.
Nan.
And also I love their uniqueness of their clothes and like the runway. That's what, like I don't think I'll do runway because I'm more like promoting brands. That's more like what I like with modeling, but
and high-end fashion brands.
Yes. But getting to that goal, I'll somehow get there.
Goal setting's really important.
It is.
Because then at least you know like what direction to go. You know, I think sometimes people, they get confused about which direction to go because they have too many like conflicting goals.
Yeah, of course.
But then I also know like for myself, I might have a goal that maybe like there's a aspect of what I want to achieve, but I fall in love with like the process of getting there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I like that too.
Because if you can fall in love with the process of getting there, like I found I was always like happy about where I was at.
Yeah.
You know, rather than being disappointed that you didn't get to the goal. Because in actual fact, the goal inadvertently is the journey of
It's the journey that
evolution.
You enjoy. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to people that was the second part of that question. What advice that would you give to people in the same position that you have been in?
With modelling or photography?
Both.
Both. Oh, advice. I've never had that question before, but I guess like don't give up on what you want to do. Like I guess like if you really are into something, if like a certain style of modeling, like you love it, just sort of don't give up. I know like sometimes I wanted to give up on modeling because it's too much, or like I feel like I'm not achieving, but you'll get there. Like literally, you sort of set tiny goals. That's what I do.
Yeah. Setting tiny goals is perfect.
Yes.
Because you can like not waste too much energy.
Yeah.
Or like, I think there's this thing around seeing progress or seeing some sort of like benefit or achievement that then motivates you even more to kind of like keep pushing on and persevering. You know, I think it's kind of a little bit like when people set too big of a goal, like when they go to the gym.
Yeah.
And they stop after like 3 days. And like, you know what? Like if you just set smaller goals and then see yourself achieve them like over time, you'll ultimately get to where you need to get to. You know, that larger goal.
Yeah, because, like getting to the larger goal, you're likely to give up quicker. But yeah, even if like, setting little goals.
Okay, so potentially a YouTube channel.
Hopefully.
You got like, you're going to think up some other real ideas to kind of come up with. Anything else for the rest of the year? Are you doing any travel?
Probably next year.
Yeah.
It's just saving money. But I do want to go to England, and maybe this is like a dream, visit Antarctica to see penguins. But that's expensive. But that's
and cold.
And freezing, yeah.
Do you like the cold?
No, but it's better than the heat.
Why do you want to go to Antarctica then?
I was okay though when I had like 3 jackets on, like when I was really warm, but I don't know. It's just been my dream.
Yeah, maybe that's the like nature photography kind of coming out.
Yeah,
and seeing the penguins.
Taking photos of that, like crowds of penguins. Oh, so good.
It would be a one in a lifetime.
It would be. It would be like amazing.
How did you go with a recent aura thing that happened?
Missed it. I saw everyone's photos. I'm like, I didn't even know this was happening.
Yeah, they didn't really.
Like literally,
they didn't really announce it or publicize it.
I was shattered. I would have liked to have tried to get photos of that. But it was amazing. Like, I just saw all the photographers.
I want to know how much radiation people got.
Yes, that's true.
So us two that missed it.
We don't have radiation.
Yeah. We might be in the survivor group.
Yeah, in the apocalypse.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. This has been fun.
Coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How can people find you on social media?
I have so many Instagrams, but my main one is, the @ ames.doerre93.
Yeah.
That's my sort of main Instagram to go to.
Yeah.
Or
that's your photography?
No, modelling.
Oh, that's your
That's
modelling?
the modelling.
Okay.
The photography one, it's all small letters, AMY.Doerre and then _ photography.
Yeah, nice.
So,
I'll have that come up.
Yeah, like yeah.
So if anybody wants any modelling tips or photography done, to contact you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Fantastic. Well, thanks everyone for listening in. If you make sure you hit subscribe and that notification bell, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Again.